the analysis session. If you're there this morning, you can hear me loud and clear. Just signify by tapping a yes in the comment section. Good morning, Mr. Adeko Ishegun, Clement, Ogunshola, Ethel, FM, Efai, Anselm, Malik Quincy. Good morning. All right, I can get a feedback, a second one, a third one. Good morning to everyone. Yeah, you're welcome on board. So today is Friday, the 17th of October, 2025. We're having our money analysis session. And fun enough, today there is no fundamental event, not even anyone, not even medium impact. The market is just blank. Today's Friday, you can see just all blank, no event. Though the US government data issue is still going on, you can see the lower label. US government data may be impacted by shutdown. Tentative events are subject to delay, revision, or cancellation. So still trade any major currency pair with a lot of caution. All right, so with that being said, we just go straight over to the chart. So that means the market will move more technically, today. Good morning, Madam Monaji. So we just go straight to the charts. There's been some movements, ending yesterday, changing the course of the market. Like the dollar index was able to finally break out below this key level, and we've seen some downtrend on the dollar. I'm not seeing any clear entry for now, but then I'll just take you straight to the instruments I've analyzed that may be moving today. I have two that are intraday and two that are swing. So I think I should start with the intraday, for the benefit of those who are intraday traders. And for the intraday, I'll be looking at the Euro CHF. All right, so this is the Euro CHF, and this is a weekly time frame. The same thing is applicable on the daily time frame. Price currently is trading at a support level on the weekly time frame. Good morning, Malik Quincy. So you can see price is trading at a support level on the weekly time frame. Support, 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 support. And this is where price is. So technically, we should be looking out for a reversal, and we can check it also on the daily. It's still, the support level is still very valid. So we'll go finally to the 1 hour time frame. And it looks like even price is still, it's already testing that area, even trying to break it, but it's still within the support zone. So I think I should even take it, look at it more closely from the 15 minutes time frame. Okay, it may not really give us a falling wedge, but we can still make do with the trend line alone on one side. Now, this is what I believe may happen. May try to form an inverse head and shoulder, because that's a very strong level holding even up to the weekly time frame. So we might see a reverse, a retracement and a reversal, form something like an inverse head and shoulder, and break out to the upside, with this region here being the neckline. So watch out closely in the course of today for the market to form a pattern like this. And if it price breaks out above the neckline region, anywhere above the neckline region, you can look at taking a buy on the Euro CHF. Don't forget that final confirmation will be RSI above 50. And the profit potential of this move using Fibonacci tool could be to the tune of, even let's assume we are making entry around Fibonacci 23.6. Fibonacci 50 will give about 15 pips. It could be more if the entry comes up earlier. And Fibonacci 61.8 could give as much as 22.5 pips. So 15 plus, let's just say even 15 plus 20, that's about on the average, about 30 pips, movement is possible on this instrument. Don't forget today's Friday. Reversal may likely occur, as in it may reverse into the direction, just like I've said. See, on Fridays, we trade with a lot of caution, especially in the afternoon, because most of the time, the market often goes in the opposite direction later in the afternoon from 12 p.m. downwards like that. So please trade with caution and watch out for a reversal into the bullish direction on the Euro CHF. We are bullish on the Euro CHF today. Now, the funny thing is that we've not talked about this instrument in a very, very long while because it's not really been given setup. But it looks to be our saving grace today because nothing much is happening on the majority of the other pairs. So I'm bullish on the Euro CHF, and I'm looking at the AUD JPY. Euro CHF on 15 minutes time frame, AUD JPY also on the 15 minutes time frame. Now, for this particular one, I've given the analysis a couple of times, right from the monthly time frame. I kept today's 17. I'm watching this instrument closely. If the month, okay, it's the rejection candle has turned green now. Before it was a red rejection candle. Sorry, it was green rather. It was green rejection candle, but the rejection candle now has turned red, even on the monthly time frame. It shows things going in line with my view. For me on the long term, this instrument, I keep saying it, if it closes by the end of this month with this rejection candle on that resistance zone, we may be getting ready for a long-term massive movement, which may span probably the next 3, 4, or even 5 months to the tune of about 3,000 pips. First leg to this support zone can give as much as about, I think about 700 pips thereabouts from my last calculation. Why? Yeah, 7, 800, 900 pips. Why am I saying that? Because price hit a resistance zone on the monthly time frame. You can see the entire picture clearly. Price hit a resistance. This is a resistance zone. This is the second resistance zone where the tip of this candle has reached the previous resistance. And most importantly, this is forming a head and a shoulder. So if it drops, I would say drop to the neckline. If it breaks that neckline, then we'll say free fall down. But like I said, it's position trading. It could take the next 3, 4 months or more. While it's the first leg, I anticipate price will drop to the neckline region. Now, please hear me clearly. I did not say take a sell now. I'm only giving you an analysis of the future outlook of this instrument. Now, in line with the analysis which I started last week, price has already dropped because on the neckline, sorry, on the daily time frame rather, if you are not taking this as a position trader, which I believe most of us will not do for now, just follow my analysis. I'm going somewhere. Yeah, on the daily time frame, I said that price will first drop to this resistance to turn support, which is where price is at the moment, and this is where we are having the head and shoulder on the daily. There's a head and shoulder forming on the monthly. There's another one trying to form on the daily. So price is now the resistance on support, which is a neckline of the uh head and shoulder on the daily. I'm anticipating a retracement back to the trend line for before a massive drop. So this is where price is now. I've drawn that support, result of support for close to a week now. Price finally got there. It's even testing it. Yeah, price is testing it a little. Okay. So now what I'm looking at now is a retracement back to this trend line. You know, that's the next wave of movement I'm looking at. And that is likely going to happen today being Friday, except market condition changes. I see that happening more. So I take it down. It's clearer for me on the 15 minutes time frame. All right. So on the 15 minutes time frame, I'm looking at a falling wedge and the price breaking out upwards, possibly to touch this trend line. Okay, so but then notwithstanding, we can still use the Fibonacci tool to look at possible areas of price level. All right, so if price breaks out, above the falling wedge, at least price will get to Fibonacci 38.2 at about 30 pips and Fibonacci 50 at about 50 pips. So 30 to 50 pips movement is possible on this instrument in the course of today. So watch out closely for a reversal on the AUD JPY. Don't forget your final confirmation is your RSI, above 50. So we're bullish on the AUD JPY today, and watch closely for price to reverse and break out to the upside and target just between 30 and 50 pips movement. Except the setup changes, I'm seeing this trying to form maybe like a double bottom pattern or an inverse head and shoulder. It falls in between both of them. That may encourage the breakout to the upside. So we're bullish on the AUD on the 15 minutes, and we're bullish on the Euro CHF on the 15 minutes likewise. Now, those are the two intraday setup that I have for us. And like I said, there are two swing setup for those who are swing traders. And the first one will be the USD card. Yeah, from our analysis, the dollar index already broke out to the downside. For the other pairs, movement has started. We can't make entry anymore. But the one that is still evolving where we could see potential opportunity for entry is the USD card. Now, for the USD card, if we go uh on the daily time frame, this is the daily time frame for the USD card. We can see price hit the previous support turn resistance here, and there is a rejection candle right in the middle, all pointing to a potential reversal. A couple of days ago, we have a rejection candle right in the middle here. So technically, we're looking for a downward movement on the USD card. So that's the analysis on the daily time frame. On the 4 hour time frame, we can see we have a rising wedge pattern and a head and shoulder that is forming, which may lead to a breakout. So if you're there a swing trader, just watch out for a potential breakout on USD card. Don't forget the final confirmation RSI below 50 before you trigger an entry. This is a 4 hour trade, so it's a swing setup. And finally, I'll look at the AUD USD. All right, so this is the AUD USD on the 4 hour time frame. And if you look at this setup on the daily time frame, price is in an uptrend, making higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, and the rejection candle is touching the trend line the fourth time. That's an indication that we should expect a bullish movement. It's a continuation pattern. And also there's a support here around that same area. So this region is a confluence where the trend line and the support meets with a rejection candle in the middle. Three valid reasons why we should look for price to go in the bullish direction right from the daily time frame. So we can now go straight to the 4 hour, and on the 4 hour time frame, we're seeing the formation of an inverse head and shoulder pattern, which will ultimately trigger price to go in the bullish direction. So this is a 4 hour setup. So we have to look for entry above the neckline region and RSI clearly above 50. Now, if this breakout works or this setup works as analyzed, there's a very high tendency that price will at least hit this resistance zone here as one of the major profit taking levels, and that will be an average of about 80 pips thereabouts, from our projected area of entry. So we're bullish on the AUD USD on the 4 hour. Now, don't forget that I said AUD JPY is bullish on 15 minutes. So you can see that there seems to be going to be some strength on the AUD instrument today. Now, don't say because AUD JPY is going to be buying. So that means let me just quickly buy AUD USD also. AUD USD is a swing. Follow the setup as analyzed. If you want to trade AUD JPY on 15 minutes, when it breaks out today, that's perfect. But for the AUD USD, wait for the 4 hour breakout. All right, so that will be all from my analysis this morning. As a recap for those who joined us late, we've analyzed the four instruments this morning. We are bullish on the Euro CHF on 15 minutes. We're bullish on the AUD JPY also on the 15 minutes. Those two setup, they are intraday setup that possibly could get triggered in the course of today. And we have also analyzed the USD card on the 4 hour where we're bearish, and the AUD USD on the 4 hour where we're equally bearish. All right, Mr. Michael Asuko Ebong is asking me to check Euro JPY. Yeah, Euro JPY is expected to sell, but it's in a range. I analyzed this at the beginning of the week. Yeah, I was seeing something like a head and shoulder, and that's because also from the weekly time frame, there's a rejection candle, which could lead to a sell. Yeah, it's sold a little, but we're expecting that massive break, but somehow it didn't happen today. Probably the fundamentals around it is not too clear. Yeah, I remember saying it that we were seeing a range, and I said it clearly that entry will only be made if price is able to break out below this range. I don't know if that person joined the analysis session where I said that, but seems to be just be on the range all through the week. For now, I would just advise to stay out of this instrument. It's not getting ready to drop anytime soon. So just stay out of it. All right, in the absence of any other question, we'll come to the end of this analysis session this morning. Now, do trade with caution. Today is Friday. You're welcome, sir. Irrational movements can be expected on a day like this, especially in the afternoon. Make sure you practice risk management at all times, when trading. And don't forget to join us by 12:30 p.m. this afternoon for the afternoon analysis session. If you're living in Lagos or Abuja, don't forget to join our physical training sessions on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and online sessions on Mondays and Wednesdays by 4 p.m. All right, so do take care
Mm.
and have a
Sorry,
great
sir.
day.
Sorry, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello, sir.
Good
Good
morning, ma'am.
morning, sir.
Morning, ma'am.
And please, this breakout of dollar, I don't understand what you mean. Do you mean that it has reversed in the bullish direction? Because I didn't really get that one. Like USD CHF.
I'll
Yes,
start with
sir.
the dollar index. For the dollar index,
Thank you,
we
sir.
had an analysis of a rising wedge, a resistance turn support. Yesterday, we were looking for a bullish movement if the data from the US comes out good for the dollar. But the data came out bad for the dollar, and price broke into the bearish direction. So it's in a bearish state as we speak. RSI below 30, completely oversold. Now, so that means the dollar is in the bearish direction, even though it's oversold, but let's just still leave the oversold out of it. Now, if you go to an instrument like USD CHF, price has moved. A breakout has already happened. See the massive movement downwards. We can't enter any sell anymore on this one. This is already, some entries can be late and with the potential of a reversal. Because if you look at it just like the dollar index, the RSI is also oversold. Price may reverse, but I don't trade based on RSI oversold, but at least it's pointing us to the fact that price has really dropped. But overall, the trend of the dollar is changing to bearish. Now, for the USD card, this one is still preparing to drop. It's unlike the one that has moved. It's still in the preparatory phase towards selling. So we have a resistance on the daily and support on resistance and a head and shoulder forming. So it will be wiser to wait for the one that is still trying to break
Mhm.
than the one that has already moved.
Correct. Okay.
Are you getting it now? Now, for the
Yes,
major
sir.
currency pairs, even though all of them contain the dollar, they don't move at the same pace. So that's why
Yes.
it's some people will just say, once you are buying USDJPY, just buy your USDCHF and USD card at the same time. It doesn't always work like that. One might have finished moving while the other one is yet to move. If you dump all of them together, you may still end up with a losing trade. So just wait for each of the instruments to move based on market conditions. So this USD card is just about to break. That is a lot safer to trade than the one that has moved.
Thank you very much, sir.
You're
I'm very
welcome.
grateful.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Rotimi. Please, what about Trump's declaration of war on China? What are the indications
Well,
resultant from this?
do you mean war, trade war, or actual war?
No, the trade war, the trade war.
Yeah, it's been affecting the market negatively. It's been impacting upon the market. It's part of what led to the massive crash in the market last week, Friday. which even impacted more upon the crypto market. Over $19 billion wiped out in the crypto space last week. So it will always impact upon the market in a negative way, even the American dollar. But America has a big economy, so whatever you are seeing on the charts negative is just going to be temporary. But China might be much more affected, more negatively. So all those are the fundamentals that move the markets. Yeah, for us traders, ours is just to look at the charts and trade. But to be honest, sometimes some of those things is serious economic issues for the countries involved. So yeah, the trade war will impact upon the market negatively. It will.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sir. All right, so that'll be the end of the session this morning. Do trade safe and have a great day ahead. Bye bye.
Thank you very